Hello and welcome back to Unique Coding Heroes. Like we had already started our series for dump AZ-204,
So
and
let's
we
start
had
with our
discussed three
discussion
questions,
for
and
204
we had
dumps
discussed three
and like
questions,
real exam
and
questions we are going to
we had
discuss.
discussed three
So
questions,
without wasting our time,
and
let's get
we had
started.
discussed three
So
questions in there, how we can so let's proceed with that. So let's move on to our next question. So yeah. Yeah. So the next question, which is like that. So you are developing a project management service by using ASP.NET, and the service has host conversation. Service hosts some conversation like files, to-do list, and a calendar. Then user can interact with each anytime. So the application uses Azure Search for allowing users to search for keyword in project data. The you need to implement code that create an object which is used to create indexes in Azure search service, and which two object you should use, and each answer present in the part solution. So each correct solution is a worth point. So you have to develop a project management service. So what we can do, we can use search service client, and search index client. So why search service client? Because the various client library define classes like index, field, and document, as well as operation like indexes, create, and documents. Search on the search. Search on the search service client and search client classes. So example like the sample the sample application will be exploring creates a new index name host, populate it like with a few documents, then execute some search queries. So here is the program basically. So you can see that configure search builder. This program, using this program. So yeah, so the correct answer would be search service client and search index client. So using that, you can develop a project manager for using it with a service which hosts conversation, files to do the lists, and calendar that user can interact with each other. So the next question is like you develop a web app that uses a D1 app service plan by using web app feature of like Microsoft Azure app services. Now, spikes in the traffic cause increase in page load time, so you need to ensure that a web page automatically scales with CPU load in up about 80% and minimize the cost. So, which four actions you should perform in a sequence to answer? You have to move the appropriate action from the list to action in the right section to arrange. So, first thing we can do is like to configure the web app to the standard app service tier. Step one is to configure the web app to the standard app service tier, and step two, enable the auto scaling on the web app. First, enable the auto scale, then add a scale rule, then add a scale condition. So, like this, you can achieve a kind of like uh, you can provide a feature to like it will Microsoft services. So with this, when the spike will happen, the page load will increase. So it will load will shift to other. Now you are developing a .NET Core Model View MVC application based on the Azure for healthcare system that allow provider access to their information. So you develop a following you develop following code. So like this. So you have to define a role system admin. So you do the following. So basically, you're developing a kind of like MVC application based. So you need to define system admin. You need to ensure that that system meets the following authorization requirement. Allow the provider admin provider admin and a system admin role to access partner controller regardless of whether the user hand ID of the partner. So this, yeah. So like this, you can provide create a MVC architecture. So these are the way mentioned. So let's move on to our next question. So the next question, we have a code segment. Now we have to give the correct answer into the boxes given. So we have a code snippet like there is a kind of some authorize and authorize policy and rule is there. So we have to tell which one is correct. So looks like the allow the box one should have the correct answer of the first one, which is allow admin and system admin role to partner control, and the box two we have like a public class partner and controller. So yeah, the second box we can use editor claim partner who are also. So that means we should be the both provider, and so the box two will be the second. Yeah. Again, you're developing a storage solution for a social networking app. The solution needs to mobile app stores the user information using Azure table storage. You need to develop a code that can insert multiple set of user information. You should complete the code. Select the appropriate option to like to area. Note each section should be the one. So this is the code snippet. Okay, so we have to tell which one. So the box one and box two have batch table operation that create the batch operation. Uh, Batch table operation is in the box three. We have a execute batch. So these are the correct answer basically because in the batch in the box three execute batch table. So you can insert batch of entities in a table and can override the operation. So some of the nodes batch operations can perform the updates and deletes and insert. So a single batch operation can include up to 100 entities. So yeah, you can yeah, this is the so the green color one is the correct one, correct answer. Yeah, let's move on to our next question. So we have like a Margi Travel is an international travel and a booking management service. The company expanding restaurant bookings. Your task is with implementing the Azure search for the restaurant list in their solution. So you create the index Azure search. You need to implement the restaurant data into Azure search service by using Azure search SDK solution. So you have to create a search service client object to connect with the search index. So you have to create a data container in that contains a document which must be added. So create a data source. So source instance it can be uh, that yeah, create a data source instance and set it container properly to the data container. Set the data source property of the search service client. Thus goal. So solution is yes or no. So no. Solution will be no. So why no? We have to use the below method to create a search index object to connect with the search box. Create a index batch that contains document which must be added. Call the document index method of search client and pass the batch index reference like the document like the link which I provided. So you can call like that. Yeah, move on to next question. So your company is migrating to application in Azure. The IT department must allow internal developer to communicate with Microsoft support. The service agent of IT department must have only one resources and create ticket permission to subscription. So a new custom role must be created by using the default role definition in the and changing the permissions. So you need to create the custom role to answer. Select appropriate option in the area note. So the correct answer is here with each point. So the PowerShell command should use the AZ like subset as Azure Arab role definition input C support JSON Then in the action, so yeah, in the box one you can set support let the updates to existing system rule. In the box 2 will be box 1 will be set definition as the green one, and why it will, because let update the existing custom role in the Azure role based access control, which provide the update role definition as an input to the command JSON for role definition object. And correct answer for action section will be read Microsoft support, create manager support ticket. Yeah, that is the correct one. So we have drag and drop questions here. So you are preparing to deploy medical record application to another VM. The application will be deployed in VST. VST produced by an premises build server. You need to ensure that both application release data are encrypted and during the after the deployment Azure. So which three action you should perform in a sequence to answer move the appropriate action. Which three action will we provide? So let's see. So first of all, we have to encrypt the on-premises BSD by using BitLocker without TPM. Using upload the VM storage, run the Azure Shell command set, then run the Azure PowerShell set, Azure as a VMD encryption. Yeah. So these are the correct three answers. Yeah. So stay tuned. We are this is the end of this tutorial. So we will be bringing more questions to our channel, and so subscribe and like. So we will thank you for watching.
So, friends, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you will get the updated videos. So, keep me inspired so that I can bring more questions, more dumb questions in the coming future, so that it will motivate you to crack the exam. Thank you very much, guys.